Did y'all hear the one where Thomas Castellanos wants Bama? Let's talk about it. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like this video and answer the question in the comments below. Do you believe that Florida State is going to beat Bama when they open up the season in 2025? Because Thomas Castellanos seems to think he knows something. I'm also going to take this opportunity to remind you we have an audio podcast at Apple and Spotify. And if you are so kind as to leave us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify, I'm going to send you one of these stickers that I nearly dropped. And a personal thank you because that's how important it is to me. So go to Apple, go to Spotify, give us those 5-star reviews, fill out the form in the description below, and I will send you your sticker. Thomas Castellanos spoke with Pete Nakos, who did a really good job of winding up the machine and letting it go, because that is your job as a reporter, as a writer, as a columnist, as a host, as an interviewer. Your job is to try to unearth some new information or an opinion that has been lying in wait for such a time as you can unleash it in the last week of June, just a couple months before the season kicks off, and just about a month before we start going into the end of media days. We start with SEC media days. This is going to be a lot of fun because I'm sure that there are going to be a lot of Alabama players that are going to need to talk about this. I'm also kind of curious about what Mike Norvell thinks about what Thomas Castellanos had to say about playing against Bama, because it ain't every day that you get a quarterback who transfers in from Boston College who has thrown for 3,600 yards in 26 games with 33 touchdowns and 19 picks in 26 games saying, "We want Bama." He said they don't have Nick Saban to save them anymore. As if Kalen DeBoer ain't heard you, dog. As if Ryan Grubb ain't heard you, big dog. As if Ty Simpson has said, "Oh, really?" To say nothing of the rest of the Alabama roster and what it is that they want to do. Because if I'm the defense coordinator, linebackers coach, defensive line coach, hey, you hear this? You heard this, right? Y'all get to go put hands on this man. Y'all get to baptize this man. You get to tell him what it's like to be baptized in the tide, in the blood. If you know what I mean here, we're going to help this man go see Jesus about himself and about some of the things that he's made. We're going to ask him, hey, are you happy with the choices that you decided to make, particularly on June 23rd? Man, I had that on my eye black. You know what I'm saying? Castellanos, June 23rd. Remember what you said? I remember what you said. I want you to remember what you said too, because I'm coming. Every single snap, I'm coming for you. Man, manna from heaven. I coach linebackers. I coach defensive line. I coach safeties. I coach quarterbacks at Alabama. You have just done the work for me, sir. You are the quarterback of a team that was garbage, to use that French term, in 2024. 2-10. Everybody but Mike Norvell got fired because they followed up what was an outstanding 2023 with a mediocre to bad to worst to one of the worst seasons in Florida State history in 2024. You, sir, are also playing in a new offense, one in which you have not. Bill O'Brien's offense is not Gus Malzahn's offense. And Gus Malzahn's offense is built not unlike Mike Martz's offense. For those of y'all that don't remember the greatest show on turf, yeah, Kurt Warner was beast. Marsh Falk was beast. Torrey Holt was beast. Isaac Bruce was beast. Isaac Keene was a beast. You know who was getting tattooed and waylaid and just, hey, we don't care that you're sending people. We're going to leave Kurt Warner hanging out to dry? Yeah, him. Because that's not unlike the kind of offense that Gus is going to run. Either you running for your life, which Thomas Castellanos is pretty decent at, or you throwing it deep, which Thomas Castellanos not that great at. So we know what time it is. You are either going to be standing back there playing whoopee cushion, playing pinata. We're going to be playing pin the spear on the knoll. Or are you trying to throw it deep? In which case, I really wish you would. I mean, against them DBs. I think that this is also one of these moments when, because Oklahoma was able to get a W against Bama, because Vanderbilt was able to go get a W against Bama, and frankly, because Tennessee was able to go get a W against Bama, and then the team with no quarterback, Michigan, was able to go get a win against Bama, everybody wants to get their licks in. To his point, Nick Saban ain't there no more. So what's Kalen DeBoer's first year look like at Bama? Hey, we didn't play for a championship. Full stop. Period. We had come to know Kalen DeBoer as a guy who wins and wins and wins at every level, everywhere he has been. And 9-4 is not terrible, but it is by Bama standards, okay? So you need to come back with something nasty, something mean, and he needed to do that before Thomas Castellanos decided to open up the trap and make like Admiral Akbar, because that's what it feels like you have done. Meanwhile, Mike Norvell got to be going, can't even bring this dude to media days. So it might be the next, might be a second straight year where we don't get to see a quarterback for ACC media days for Florida State. I am really excited about this because this is like you read about, okay? He said, look, every team that I've been on, when I've been the quarterback, you see our first game, we start fast. We go fast. We get on the board. I can't wait to play them. I've always wanted to play against Alabama. Now I got the opportunity to play against Alabama, and I want them to know that I'm coming. Again, there are a lot of different ways you could have gone about this. There is the, let's charm treatment. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to respect what they have done since 2009. They have been the class of college football. They put together one of the best runs in the history of the sport. They look decent enough on paper. I know they're going to have a new quarterback. They lose Justice Haynes to the transfer portal, but you know what? They got Ryan Williams coming back, and that dude's a dog. He's one of the 3 best wide receivers in the country, if not second best wide receiver in the country, might be up for the Heisman. And you can never tell with those guys because they just continue to reload everywhere you look. I think it's going to be a really fun game for us to play in. We have an opportunity to get back on the good foot, us being Florida State. Look at me. I'm doing your media relations for you. Meanwhile, your SID's face melts. Somebody somewhere is going, child, please. Help me help you. Because now this is what your offseason about. This is all your offseason is going to be about for the rest of the offseason, and this is all the week 1 talk is going to be about. I'm sure Thomas Castellanos can carry this. I'm sure he can. But his teammates, Malik Benson over here, like, I got up out of there. I'm at Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what he be talking about. And you keep looking around and making those same sorts of statements everywhere you go with the mass exodus. But you know what? They have done well in recruiting. But the problem with that is, are those recruits going to show up right here, right now, in a moment where they need them against what is going to be one of the better teams on their schedule? Full stop. Like, I don't expect Bama to be worse than it was last year. It might be the same, right? But that is to say that the SEC is still a monster, even as Bama had gotten used to lording over it. Now it's Georgia's league, and we all know this. Would Thomas Castellanos say the same thing about Georgia? Probably. Would he say the same thing about Ohio State? Probably. But he said it about Bama, for which the vaunted SEC Shorts channel was built on that video of, hey, sometimes everybody don't want Bama. Sometimes we got to save you from yourself because you said a thing. Now you said a thing. You also got to remember, man, before the Vanderbilt debacle, you're talking about Texas A&M and Louisiana Monroe being the 2 programs without a number next to their name to go get a win against Bama. It doesn't happen like that. Now, he's saying it again. Kalen DeBoer's there. What happens? Year 1, they get beat by Vandy. The first team to be ranked number 1 and take a beating by Vandy, period. Vandy was, 0-65 before that game. So maybe you're feeling some kind of way. Maybe it's time to get your licks in. But if it were me, I don't know. I would have probably done the same damn thing. Shout out to Thomas Castellanos. He in it to win it, baby.